It's been a long day.
Yeah, oh, I bet. Yeah.
So, what has Coach Riley's message been to the kickers about the competition in training camp and how that's going to get sorted out?
Yeah, it's always going to be an open competition here. I think the emphasis for us was just to continue improving as a group. We got new guys coming in, Ryan Series, a freshman, and then Michael Lance, grad transfer from Georgia Southern. So I think the addition of those guys in our group is going to help us, all push each other, work hard, and I can assure that whoever gets sound out there for our first game against LSU will be the right decision, and they will help our team out especially.
Everybody's always curious about kickers. Everybody always thinks they know what they're like, but what's it like with a group of kickers? What do you guys like interacting with one another?
Yeah, I think people think that in position groups, there's a lot of animosity because we're all competing against each other. But in my opinion, it's all shared struggle, and we all know we're all going through. We all go to the same lifts, same kicking schedule, so we have a lot of time together. We grow close, and there's not a guy that I wouldn't say is a friend. So, yeah.
So, what is the path for you to step up and win this job, or give yourself the best shot? Where have you been? What have you been focusing on?
Yeah, obviously you want to make all your kicks. As a kicker, it's a pretty easy job. It goes in or it doesn't. And for kickoff, you have a lot of power. So for my focus, get on the field, I just want to make sure I'm making all my kicks. I'm a dependable person for the team, to where if I were to be a starter, Coach Riley can look in the field and say, okay, we're in field goal range, he can make this, let's set him out there. I don't want any questions, nothing like that.
So, you guys don't have a designated special teams coach, and sometimes that means something, sometimes it doesn't. How much emphasis has there been on special teams, maybe through PRPs, and how much emphasis do you expect in training camp?
There's always a big emphasis on the team. I know that maybe on the outside looking in, because we have a special teams coach, maybe he'll be pushed aside, but that's not the case. We have plenty of coaches that are dedicated towards our special teams. Coach Ed's, when the second he came in, made a focus on special teams. And we don't just follow our coaches' leads and do what they say. It's definitely a focus, though, for sure.
Is there such a thing as icing the kicker?
Maybe depends on who you ask. In my opinion, it obviously plays a factor, but we do it so much, and all the mental reps in practice, to where I think that if you are confident in your abilities, there's really no such thing.
Did anyone ever try it with you, high school or in your past?
Yeah, so my JV year I kicked a game winner, and the other team did try to ice me. Didn't work.
Did you walk away? Are you just chill, acting like it's no big deal?
So
What's your protocol?
So everyone's different. For me, anytime I get ice, I'll just leave the field, maybe take a kick in the net if we have the time, or just stand out for the sidelines. Because I think that if you're out there for too long, maybe the moat might get to you. So it's always good to just take a mental reset, come back, almost like in golf. If you hit a bad shot, maybe go to the golf cart, take a break, come back out, keep playing. So,
are you a golfer at all?
I am. Yeah.
So, how much are there parallels when you talk about your swing?
Yeah.
When you talk about the type of shot that you have to hit, is there an overlap in that mindset?
Yeah, a lot of specs play golf, so there is a lot of parallels. I mean, tempo, swing, obviously what club you use for the certain scenario. So yeah, there's a lot of parallels. Obviously, you're not kicking a golf ball, but there's a lot of golfing and kicking, I'd say.
And do you have a go-to style of onsite? There's a lot of places you can put the ball.
As a specialist group, we have a couple that we might need to pull out. In high school, I did a couple self-onsides, a couple.
Did you?
Yeah, down the lines. There's a ton of different onside kicks. It just kind of depends on, the situation, what the coach wants us to do, maybe how they line up. So it's always good to have a couple in your, in your bag.
And I know this isn't your area of special teams, but having a guy like Zachariah as a return option, just what does it do for the room? What does it do for the attitude of those groups?
I mean, I would say the whole team. I think that when you send a guy out like Zachariah Branch, and the talent that he has and the speed that he has, and how he moves, I think that we know that if the ball gets punted to him, because I know that maybe some schools will scheme against it, maybe say, hey, punt out of bounds, punt away from whatever, but if the ball's in his hands, anything's possible. I trust that dude to make the craziest plays. I've seen it happen last year, and I expect it to continue for the entire time we've seen it.
After the Holiday Bowl, so many different guys walked up to congratulate Miller. Special teams guys, defense guys, offense guys, old guys, young guys. How did he earn that kind of a reaction from his teammates?
And so I only got here last year, but I know Miller's story. He's a Trojan through and through. He stuck through, quarterback changes, coaching staff changes. He sat behind, some really good guys, and he really earned his stripes, let's say, in the team. And all the guys really rallied around him, especially during the practices leading into the Holiday Bowl game. He really took charge of the team. We look to him as a leader, and it's going to continue. But yeah, we were all really happy from the Holiday Bowl.
What goes into, maybe from him or just anybody else on the team, making sure you guys do all feel like a group? It's a big group. It's easy to stray, but who keeps you guys truly together, and how do they go about doing it?
Yeah, Miller obviously is one of our team leaders. We have a ton of team leaders, and I think that them together work as a unit to make sure our team feels like it's together. Because, as you said, there's so many guys and so many different personalities, and it might take a little bit of time for everyone to gel together, but I think that the leaders we have has done a great job this offseason and the summertime, making sure we all feel like a team, and as we go into fall camp, we're all one.
Who's the best golfer on the team?
Man, I might hurt people's feelings, but I know that
you can vote for yourself. I won't judge.
Hank Pepper, our snapper, he is a very, very good golfer, and I think he could probably take a lot of people.
Have there been any inter-team?
There's been a couple. I've
Miller golfs, right?
Yeah. I've had the opportunity to go out with some of the guys. I think most recently I went out with Bryson Shaw, Garth White, Carson Tabarak, and played like a scramble.
Okay.
So that was always fun. The guys love golf. So.
Okay, last thing. Superstitions. Either game day, in the moment, anything particular for you, and maybe what's the craziest one that you've just heard about in talking to
for me, I don't like to believe in superstitions because I think that, let's say like you have lucky socks and you lose them, then that's in the back of your mind, like, oh, I don't have my lucky socks, how am I going to do? So I try to stay away from it. Everyone knows, like, I don't wash my jersey on game, like stuff like that. I don't know if I know any crazy superstitions. For me, I try to stay away from it and just, trust it. Me as a person is going to get it, not some like lucky magic socks or whatever. Yeah.
Perfect.